1 month ago, I started learning AWS from scratch. Hi, I'm Louis, an easy undergrad who is diving into cloud and security. In this video, I'm gonna break down what exactly I learned in these 30 days, the core AWS services that I focused on, the resources that actually helped me, and how everything was put together. If you're starting AWS or building cloud skills, come on, let's hop in. So, when we are starting with any new skill, we start with always what which is called basic, the fundamentals. So in cloud, the basics are what is cloud computing and related terms with it, which is AWS shared responsibility model, networking, TCP/IP protocol, and many other things. This phase of understanding the basic is usually theoretically conceptual based, where you have to through read the concepts and understand it through practical exams. You can use AI as your mentor, as using AI as your mentor can help you make the definition and the concept that you're learning more clear, and whenever you have any doubt you can just ask him to clear it. So after finishing the basic and fundamentals, usually people try to rush to learn all the AWS services that is present on AWS, thinking that it will give them more job opportunities than others, but that is totally wrong. Through my experience and research, I have realized that there are more than 200 plus AWS services present on AWS. So, learning them all is next to impossible with the amount of time that I have. So, what did I do? I chose the core 3 AWS services and learned their basic and fundamental, making them strong, which were EC2, the virtual server on the cloud, S3, which is a storage service, and as you all know, the security part, IAM, which is identity, access, and management. When learning AWS core services side by side, I strengthened my networking part, solely focused towards AWS and cloud. For example, VPC, subnets, and security groups. This all comes under the fundamentals of cloud security. And please don't forget about monitoring and billing concepts. Use CloudWatch for monitoring and logs and set billing alarms. AWS can get expensive fast, and setting billing alarms can save you from accidentally leaving resources running overnight. Now let me show you actually how I learned. So for my step-by-step learning process, the first step was understanding the basics. So initially I did some research on internet about readily available free resources from where I can study the cloud computing, and the best we get is YouTube videos. Not jumping straight into the AWS console, I needed to understand what cloud computing actually is, why the server exists, and how they fit together. With the research that I did, I clubbed all the free resources that were available on internet, and with the help of Claude, I made a simple roadmap out of it. For the starters, I followed the AWS Practitioner Crash Course by FreeCodeCamp because it helped me understand the AWS fundamentals and cloud computing basics more efficiently, while also preparing me for the AWS Cloud Practitioner certification exam that I'm going to give in near future. The thing here is that I did not binge watch the whole 14 hours of FreeCodeCamp altogether. I divided them into segments based on the topics. Whenever I completed one topic, I watched focus tutorial concept videos based on core services like EC2, S3, IM, and M Prashant playlist of AWS helped me a lot. Following this learning part gave me a mental model that I needed before touching anything. So whenever I got stuck or had a doubt, I used ChatGPT's voice mode. This was a game changer. Instead of typing out long questions, I just talked through my confusion. Why is my S3 bucket policy not working? What's the difference between security group and knuckle? The voice mode made learning feel like an interaction with a mentor, fast interactive, and I could ask follow-up questions instantly. As you all know that only using AWS console is not enough. After every hands-on practice on AWS console, I switched to my Git bash. Practice the same task using AWS CLI commands. Whenever I had doubts, I referred to AWS documentations, asked ChatGPT for the guidance, noted everything down in a notebook, and practiced it repeatedly again and again. But there I did not stop. After practicing the commands, I started looking for ways to automate the same task using Boto3 and began writing the small scripts for them. Learning Boto3 as a whole is next to impossible as it includes many services, modules, and commands. Instead of trying to learn everything, I focused on building logic and write automation script based on specific task. What are the resources that I used? For the AWS Crash Course and Cloud Beginner Fundamental, I started with Cloud Practitioner Crash Course by Free Code Camp. This helped me build a strong foundation in cloud concept while getting aligned with the Cloud AWS Practitioner Certificate exam. After completing certain segments of the course, I didn't just move on. I paused and watched in-depth YouTube videos that focus specifically on individual AWS services like EC2, S3, and DynamoDB. This helped me understand how each services work in real-life scenario. And for more clarity on specific topics, especially when I wanted a structured explanation, I refer to digital cloud training. This explanation helped me connect concepts and understand why services are used in production environment. And when it comes to applying what I learned, I use tools like ChatGPT and Claude to break down my small mini projects and automation ideas. And one more thing that I consistently followed throughout my journey was note taking. I wrote my own notes in my notebook, whether it be AWS concept or theory, or even my mini project ideas, or the Python automation or CLI commands that I learned even every now and then. Writing things down helped me reinforce my concepts, track my learning, and also revise effectively. This combination of focused structured courses, focused service learning, and hands-on practice and self-made notes is what helped me build real understanding instead of just watching YouTube videos. After learning the fundamentals, I wanted to apply all the knowledge that I have gained by building a real world project. So I did a little research in YouTube, documentations, and even in ChatGPT, and finally found out with a mini project which was event announcement app with complete architecture, backend, frontend, and supporting cloud services. The idea behind this project was simple: to create something practical that reflects how real world designs are built in applications. I first spent time designing the architecture, understanding how different components would interact, and deciding which services were actually required. For the backend and cloud setup, I applied the AWS concepts I had already learned, but for the user interface, I realized I needed front end knowledge.
I crash course JavaScript.
Throughout the entire process, I used tools like ChatGPT as my mentor, not to copy solutions, but to validate my architecture, break down tasks, and follow a step by step learning approach. I documented everything: decisions, architecture, challenges, and solution, and made sure that the project structure was proper. The complete project is available in my GitHub repo, links in description, and also added in my LinkedIn project section. After completion of this mini project, my biggest advice is that don't wait until you know everything. Learn the fundamentals, pick a real problem, and make a project around it. That's where the real learning happens. So, yeah, this was my first month of learning cloud, and through this month, I gained a lot of knowledge and experience. How, like the networking, subnets, and etc. Many things. But you can say that every learning phase is not the best experience. Like there will be a lot of struggle, and there will be a time when you want to give up. For example, there were concepts like there were that were not getting through my head. I repetitively did it again and again, finally till I understood it, and this overwhelmed me, or got me into thinking that is cloud really for me? But the thing here is that after this all also I did not give up. I spent extra hours of time into it. I did a lot of research and finally understood it. I followed a strict timetable, and to be honest, this month should be completed earlier on, but there were some random tasks that were coming up to my schedules that, tampered with my timetable. But the thing is that, however, there will be obstacles or that will be coming into your path, and you just have to conquer it. So, this first month of learning something new, which I want to make it as my future. It was interesting. I don't know the path yet, how like the future path will be coming. Maybe I will follow this same path, or maybe there will be some divergent into something new. But if I have started with this, I will move towards it. I will move towards the path. And yeah, this is the end for now. If you find this video helpful and want to follow for my journey, please do like and subscribe, cause you supporting me boosts my morals. If you have any questions, please put it in comment box, and all the links are in the description. And remember, progress beats perfection. Don't quit. Louis Lemyan Mark over and out.